Hey guys, Alex here, otherwise known as Clash for Still, part of the Blueprint base building media team, and today we're going to be jumping in to check out Queen Walkers against JX Tiger, and this potentially could be the last ever war between these two incredible teams. Of course, JX Tiger are on the Chinese server, which is now a separate entity from the global server. We don't know what's going to be happening with this in the future, but currently they are not really technically in the same server as the rest of the world. But we're going to be jumping in here to check out some insane attacks from these guys over at Queen Walkers, who ended up winning this war against JX Tiger with some massively creative hits. And you can see we're going to be kicking this off with Stadra, who comes in with this crazy Zap, Super Valkyrie, Grand Warden Walk, Super Wizard, Witches. I mean, this attack has absolutely everything in it. You can see he gets a crazy amount of value up there at the 12 o'clock section with that Grand Warden Walk. Of course, using those zap spells as well just to grab as much value as possible. We're then going to be going ahead using a couple of ice golems in on this 3 o'clock section. We have the Witches in support there as well, the Super Wizards coming in, and of course those Super Valkyries, which are going to be dropping down those rage spells and just doing a crazy amount of value. Grand Warden ability is going to get popped up there as well. Single target Inferno is heating up in the core of the base, but that Grand Warden ability protecting the majority of our troops as we push through. You can see so many rage spells getting dropped. Of course, that is the Super Valkyrie's ability. They have those rage spells in their backpack and they drop them down when they end up dying. The Queen sadly is going to get held up by this Lava Hound and those pups here in the core. King's ability is going to get dropped off. We just throw a blimp directly into the Town Hall, taking a little bit of a gamble there as we didn't have any Coco Loons, but the blimp does make it safely and securely, and those sneaky goblins, when they come out, will be able to grab it. RC is going to have to pop her ability off down at this bottom section of the base. Queen still stalled up on those lava pups, goes to ability right there and should hopefully get through a final of these defenses on the back end. We do have an invisibility spell, however I don't know if it's going to be the best idea to use it on the RC. No, we're going to hold it for slightly longer, potentially using it on either the Queen or the Witches here on the back end. We of course have a free spell in hand as well that we can potentially use to try and protect something, but with that Queen and the Unicorn, and we have those healers on the Queen, this one is all but done. Stadra coming in with a beautiful attack using the invisibility spell on the back end of this one just to help protect that baby dragon, and it does of course finish up a 3-star for Stadra of Queen Walkers. Next attack going to be coming in, we have Gaku coming in with, well, it's just even more crazy than that of the last attack. This is something that a load of creative players do their absolute best to try, but it is so difficult in the current meta, and that is Queen Charge Headhunters. You can see 22 Headhunters going to be coming through in this army composition. The Flame Flinger has made this kind of attack slightly easier because the Flame Flinger is great if you didn't know at creating funnels. You'll see it's going to be getting quite a lot of value. Sadly, you know, Gaku does find a Tesla over there at the 9 o'clock section. He doesn't realize that Tesla pops, so that Tesla ends up taking down his entire Flame Flinger, which is super sad. He's going to have even more Headhunters coming out of there, and that basically gets 0 value. You know, that Flame Flinger I think got maybe 1, potentially 2 defenses, and other than that really didn't get that much. And those Teslas on the outside of the base there from JX Tiger is to bait exactly that. So it's really smart base building coming in there. And to be honest, Gaku is having a little bit of a nightmare here. He loses his Queen ability super early on to the enemy CC, and he's just having quite a tough time trying to push through this attack. We've got the King and the Grand Warden coming in on that left hand side of the base. They're going to be coming in with a few Headhunters of course to get through those enemy heroes, luring out the CC as well. Sadly, it's going to be a Lava Hound, which is potentially going to stall up a Royal Champion if she gets lured over there. We're going to be raging up our Queen. Of course, we're going to be using that Super Wall Breaker to open up access into the Town Hall compartment, freezing up the single target Inferno, not taking any chances here, and here comes the army of Headhunters. They're going to be coming in from this left hand side of the base. Does drop a very early Eternal Tome ability, sadly missing quite a large portion of those Headhunters. Going to be freezing up this scatter shot here on the back end. We still have 2 free spells and a skeleton spell. Of course, we want to protect our Headhunters because they can actually do pretty well in large groups as long as those splash damage defenses. So for example, the bomb tower or a scatter shot don't do too much work on them on the back end, but Gaku recovers this attack just incredibly. The fact that he pretty much swagged his entire CC and the Flame Flinger, he lost his Queen ability early on in the attack, he's going to end up swagging a free spell here as well, which is mental. Gaku completely crushes this base, even though he got a little bit baited. It just shows how good Queen Walker Stephanie can be. From one creative attack straight into who potentially is the master of creative attacks, and that is Klaus. We all know how, insane Klaus's reputation is, but every time we see these creative attacks coming in from him, they just don't disappoint. You can see he's going to be using a Skelly Donut, but also with bats. So he has the skeleton spell on the CC, and he's going to use 2 bat spells to grab the Inferno Towers. So he manages to get a crazy amount of value there. He then has a Yeti Blimp coming in from that 12 o'clock section. That's going to be able to grab just a crazy amount again, completely clearing out all the defenses in that top section. Of course, the scatter shot being in there is one of those vital defenses. And now it's not even going to be a queen charge. It's just going to be a massive kill squad. We've got the golems pushing out in front. We're going to have the Grand Warden in alongside our queen. And now we're going to get the rest of our golems coming in. We, of course, have those regular wizards. This is basically just a go-wee, which is like throwback to like the Town Hall 8, Town Hall 9 days. Klaus bringing these old style attacks back. You love to see it. A couple of giants in this army composition as well. We do, of course, have those sneaky goblins, which I'm assuming will be used for the Town Hall. We can drop our Grand Warden ability probably as we get into range of the scatter shot down here at the bottom. Here come those sneaky goblins. They are going to be thrown in there, and they are going to be able to take down that Town Hall with the help of that invisibility spell. Alright, another golem going to be coming down from that 6 o'clock section. Remember, we have 1 golem left to go in, and usually with these kind of attacks, you tend to see all of them getting thrown in at the start. But Klaus very smartly saves those golems for when he absolutely needs them to do some tanking, and that, of course, is going to be mainly on the back end of this attack. So he throws down his final golem over here around about the 4 to 5 o'clock section. We have 1 single target Inferno left up on this attack, which potentially could cause some issues. We do still have an Earthquake spell as well. Not too sure what that Earthquake was for, potentially to activate the Town Hall or to help us take down the Clan Castle or Infernos if they didn't go down at the start of this attack. Queen and World Champion still having ability is, of course, absolutely OP. We're going to have a Giant and a couple of Wizards coming in just to deal with a few of these defenses here on the back end. But Klaus, well, he swags, double freeze, and the Earthquake. Just incredible. And the final attack we are going to be taking a look at comes in from Yuta 14. He is going to be coming in with another mind-blowing attack. It's going to be multiple charges going on at once. He has the Grand Warden starting over here at the 3 o'clock section, but he's not just going to have that Grand Warden walking. He is also going to have his queen. She's going to be charging in, looks to be charging in towards this Town Hall. So far this attack is pretty crazy. In fact, it looks like he's potentially pushing his queen down towards this channel, hoping to push her up into the core of the base. But remember, he has his Grand Warden still doing work over there at 3 o'clock, currently locked on to that Eagle Artillery. Yeti's doing some nice work down here at 6 o'clock. And I can only imagine he's going to be using his king to push in there and grab that Town Hall. Out comes the CC, so we need to make sure we get that poison spell down. Nope, instead he's going to freeze everything up in there, not taking any chances. And here comes that king over here from the right hand side of the base. So honestly, going to be very interested to see what Yuta decides to do here. He's going to end up wall breaking his queen in towards that Town Hall compartment. King's going to be coming in, like I said, over here at that right hand side of the base. We've got the Royal Champion coming in as well, and she is going to have some healers of her own. They are going to be able to help her push through the scatter shot down here at this bottom section of the base. Queen finally, hopefully, should be pushing in towards that Town Hall. We will need to freeze it up. He decides to use the invisibility spell instead of that freeze spell just to protect his healers a little bit. Decides to then go ahead, freeze up the single and that Town Hall. RC still going very strong with those healers in behind her. Sadly, we have now lost our king, but the Grand Warden still going strong with his pack of healers. So we have 3 charges still going on through this base. The Arseek still has her ability, as does the Queen. And this is just looking incredibly strong here from Yuta 14. Going to be able to pick up just a ridiculous amount of value here. Clearing these last couple of defenses with ease. Still has pretty much all of his HP on his Queen and Grand Warden there at the end. Queen Walkers are just on another level. Honestly, they are crazy. Hey, I thought Yuta's attack was the last one, but it turns out Queen Walkers came in with a perfect war. And that means we have one more attack. And as if 22 Headhunters were not enough, we are going to be seeing 34 Headhunters. And this just gets more and more crazy. We're going to have a bowler bounce going over on this left-hand side. That's going to be able to clear a nice little bit of value. We are going to be using a skelly donut here in the core. We're going to be using an earthquake to kick off proceedings. We're then going to be dropping down those skeletons and using those invisibility spells. Those are going to be able to help us get down the scatter shot as well as the clan castle. Down goes the scatter shot, down goes the CC, and Stars is off to a very nice start here. Flame Flinger, hopefully going to be able to pick up a little bit more value in this attack than we did in that previous one. You can see testing the water here with those sneaky goblins is going to go ahead, drop down the invisibility spell, though that invisibility spell was very, very late, nearly misses out on it, but does secure the town hall right there. One giant going to be coming in on that left hand side, I believe, just to test for any Teslas or giant bombs. We can then go ahead and drop down our Headhunters. They are going to come straight in here. We can go ahead, rage them up. Of course, once they've taken care of all of the enemy heroes, it really is not going to be too much of an issue for them to just smash through the base. Using skeleton spells, trying to do a little bit of tanking here for some of these defenses on the back end. We want to try as much as we can to protect our main heroes. Of course, the Royal Champion now pushing through into the core. The Queen is going to be doing a little bit of work up at this top 1 o'clock section with that King in tandem. Royal Champion pushing into the core now with that Grand Warden in behind her. And you'll see, well, nearly every single one of our Headhunters has sadly died. I believe they did hit a couple of bombs over there on the left-hand side of the base. Those defenses, once they lock onto them, well, it doesn't take too much to really take those Headhunters down. However, this attack is looking beautiful here from Stars. He's not got too much left up on the back end, but that Flame Flinger got just so much value that with those Hog Riders now coming out in the back end, they are going to be able to help us push through these last few defenses. That Queen is going to be able to tidy up as well. That Unicorn, of course, helping to protect her through the back end of this one. So in potentially what could have been the final war between these two teams, Queen Walkers did come out on top. But JX Tiger did manage to put up a 14-star war. Remember, if you guys did enjoy this video, drop down there. Let us know in the comments which one of these 5 attacks was your favorite. We would love to know. While you're down there, make sure you like, subscribe as well, and we'll catch you guys in the next Blueprint video. Peace.